Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another session of Singapore International Dynamic Speakers. As the year wraps up, as the year comes to an end, take a moment, reflect. This year, like the previous, has tested our resilience, has tested our ability to adapt and adjust. In short, it has forced us to grow. Growing isn't always easy. It's oftentimes messy and full of trials and tribulations, full of obstacles and sometimes utter failure. But our resilience is what gets us through. Thanks to the pandemic, we have gone through much trials and tribulations. But here we are at the end of another year. How have we grown during this year? How have we become better? Are we closer to achieving our goals? Have we accomplished goals and are on the path to accomplishing new goals? Take a moment, reflect. What obstacles have you overcome this year that you are proud of? Have you helped others overcome obstacles that they were having trouble getting by? How did that make you feel? Growth is not only of the self, it's of our community. If we can help others improve, whether it's family, friends, or a neighbor, a colleague at work, we too grow. And this year has been a year that everyone has grown in some way or the other. So again, Toastmasters and guests, take a moment, reflect on how you have grown this year. Guys, we are at the twilight of this year. It's coming to an end, but every end, there is a new beginning. Personally, I like to reflect, do a post-mortem, if you will. Have I accomplished anything this year? Or was I just coasting by? Was it just a stroll in the park? Or did I challenge myself? Did I help others along the way? Or was I too busy on my own journey to even notice others needing help? The post-mortem at the end of any project, any exercise, is where you do an assessment of what you did well, where you could have improved going forward. We are at that time of the year where reflection is key, where we get a chance to look back and say, yes, I can check this off my list. I can check that off my list. Oh, I still have this pending. Reflection and doing a post-mortem is essential for growth. And that is the theme of today's meeting, growth. How have you grown? Now, whilst we reflect on that, let's get ready for the table topics. Today's theme, again, is growth. And in the table topics, as always, we have 2 minutes, give or take 30 seconds. The timer will indicate green background at the 1 minute mark, a yellow background at the 2.5 minute mark. Sorry, at the 2 minute mark, and at the 2.5 minute mark, you get the red background. So you have 2 minutes, give or take 30 seconds for an impromptu topic. And again, today's theme is growth. To get the ball rolling, what was the single most challenging task you undertake this year? What was the single most challenging task you took on this year? Carl?
For me, that's real easy. For me, being able to get into Singapore was unequivocally the most difficult challenge for me because of all the requirements to prepare just to get into the country, all the documents, all the testing, flights, etc. It was an incredible challenge, and I'm thankful to my family, first and foremost, then to my managers, secondly, for having the insight to lead me to finding the small little window of opportunity to actually get on the plane and get the flight out of here, because Singapore is closing down again. Asia is closing down again because of the pandemic. I was so fortunate. I listened to my family. I listened to my CEO, my boss, and I also listened to my inner soul. I'd been out of Asia for 2 years, and I'm an Asian market specialist. So it was risky. There was a challenge. I was determined to succeed in that mission, to get here. It's not easy flying internationally.
Oh, thank you, Carl. Well said. Getting back to a place you love can oftentimes be challenging indeed. What task did you accomplish that was never on the agenda? What task did you accomplish this year that was not on your agenda? Anya.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Mr. President, Toastmaster of the Day, Edward, and fellow Toastmasters and guests. So the question you asked me actually puts me in a sort of embarrassing spot, because the thing that was not on my agenda that I was able to accomplish this year is really out of my comfort zone, so out of my comfort zone that I find it uncomfortable talking about it. So on a whim, I came across a Facebook notification about a beauty pageant for married women, and I went ahead and registered for it. And so for a while, I was on tenterhooks. I didn't want to attend it because it was so awkward for me to even think about such a thing. But then they said that they're open for online auditions also. So I gave the online auditions. I got selected. And yeah, now I have the finals next year. So it'll be even more embarrassing for me next year. Yeah, that's it. Am I not on the green mark yet?
Yes, you are. You actually carried the yellow, but I was so engrossed with your eyelash.
Okay.
Excellent job, Anya. Stepping out of our comfort zone does allow us to grow, and every chance we get to make ourselves uncomfortable and to take on something that we would not otherwise do is an opportunity for growth, and we should seize it. Well done, Anya. Well done.
Thank you, Edward.
Self-doubt is the most crucial deterrent to growth. What self-doubt did you overcome this year, Khalid?
Oh, let me see. Now I finally got in, so now I can see you and you can see me. Believe it or not, I overcame self-doubt many, many years ago. My self-doubt was very, very high when I was in college. And then circumstances taught me that if you want to succeed in life, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your talents, your abilities. And that culminated when I failed my PhD exam. And I thought that was the end of the road for me. But one phone call made a difference in my life. I was studying in the US and I was ready to pack and go back home. I called the most trusted source in my universe, my mother. And she reminded me of a game that we used to play when I was a little child. That game is called Jenga, by the way. That is when you build towers and it falls into pieces. My mother told me, son, pick up the pieces and keep going. And from that day on, I never doubted myself, because after 4 years, I achieved what I wanted to do, my dream, and I became a math professor and I taught for 30 years. Today, I find myself the happiest person on earth. Don't find that pompous, but that's how I believe. I am satisfied, I am happy with my life, and I am willing to help anyone to overcome their self-doubt. Just give me a call, Mr. Toastmaster.
Excellent job, Khalid. Excellent job. Yes, failure is a part of growth. And like Jenga, we can always start over and accomplish our task. The beauty about being few in numbers is that we get multiple speaking opportunities. For the second round of table topics, I want to encourage you to remember the format of any presentation. Remember to greet your audience and to greet your audience in descending order. Remember to open with a quote, a phrase, or make a declarative statement, or even ask a rhetorical question. State your position, support your position with 2 or more points, and in summary, summarize your position and your points. Again, remember to greet your audience. If you're in front of your board of directors, it's the CEO, the managers, supervisors, fellow employees, invited guests. Here at Toastmaster, it's the president, the Toastmaster of the evening, table topic master, fellow Toastmasters guests. Always greet your audience in descending order. The importance of this is that you need to know who is in the audience. That's the importance of the greeting. When you open, state clearly what you're speaking about. What is the purpose of your presentation? There are many ways you can do that. You can open with a quote or a phrase. You can make a declarative statement, or you can ask a rhetorical question. Draw your audience in. When you get to the body of your presentation, support your position with 2 or more points. Whatever it is, find 2 things to say about that position. And in summary, summarize your position and your points. On your mark, get set, go. On to the second round of topics. Change is inevitable, but personal growth is a choice. Change is inevitable, but personal growth is a choice. Do you agree or disagree, Carl?
Ladies and gentlemen, your distinguished guests, now that I know who I'm talking to, TM, the president, Toastmasters, Anaya, and Khalid. It is my distinguished pleasure to know all of you. I'm kind of, the TM has thrown me into the frying pan, and I'm being fried up, and I'm cool with that because I've been thrown into the frying pan ultimate times, and I'm good with that. What I wanted to say was that I believe that you're right about having to basically change and be flexible with what you do in your life. I honestly believe, I personally believe that we go through 2 or 3 phases in our lives. And I believe that we must continuously reinvent ourselves in our workplace, in our personal lives, in our family lives. We continually have to reinvent ourselves. That's what I feel. That's what I am doing right now. And I feel that there is no comfort zone that's comfortable or uncomfortable for me, because I'm willing to jump into the frying pan and get fried. Thank you.
Excellent job, Carl. Excellent job. Yes, we must never shy away from an opportunity to grow, especially when we are thrown into the deep end. Excellent job. Being committed to yourself is key to growth. Being committed to yourself is key to growth. Do you agree or disagree, Toastmaster Anya?
Hello, Mr. President, Toastmaster of the day, and my fellow Toastmasters and guests. So the question that Edward has now posed to me is commitment to yourself. I have to agree. I think anyone would have to agree, because ideally we would want to invest in personal growth and commit to ourselves so that we can execute our plan for personal growth. But what tends to happen is that our responsibilities towards others, because we do have a circle of friends and family and the people we care about, so their requirements do sort of sometimes overpower your commitment to yourself. And at that times, it's important to remind yourself that it's okay to be selfish. That's how we have evolved. If people were not selfish, human evolution wouldn't have happened. People would have just died for each other and maybe died for their animals, and humans won't be here. So I think that it's okay to be selfish, to invest in yourself, and if you have to prioritize yourself over others' requirements, others' needs, it's okay to do that, because in the end, it's you who has to take yourself forward. Nobody else is going to do that. Yeah. Thank you, Edward. Back to you.
I agree with you, Anya. Yes, you must be committed to yourself for you to grow. Commitment, perseverance is the key to personal success. And yes, we may get distracted by family and friends, but we must always keep our eyes on the prize. Excellent job, Anya. The struggle you are in today is there to make you stronger. The struggles you are in today is there to make you stronger. Do you agree, Toastmaster Khalid?
Well, now that we're being formal, let me address you as Mr. President and Table Topics Master, our distinguished members and guests. Now I forgot the topic, but let me see, reiterate. Let me
The struggles you are in
just said.
today are there to make you
Yes.
stronger.
If you look around, you see a lot of successful people, don't you? I see here Edward, Carl, and Anania. I am sure you're successful at one thing or another. If you look beyond this little room, you will also see a lot of successful people. But have you ever wondered why they are successful? They went to sleep, they dreamed of something, they woke up and it was there? Definitely not. You have to know the in and out of their life, their struggles, everything they went through. I challenge you, stop any person while you're walking on the street and tell them what kind of challenges they face every day or they have faced all their lives. And then tell them about their achievements. I am 100% sure that you will discover that whatever they achieved was because they were ready to face their challenges and overcome them. Friends, life is a series of challenges, and only those who are willing to look at challenges as an opportunity will rise. Those who look at challenges as difficulties, those are the ones who are left behind. My friends, next time you face a challenge, remember me and what I just said. Look at a challenge as an opportunity and not as a difficulty. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Excellent, excellent point. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. We must seize every challenge as an opportunity to grow. Welcome, Angela.
Thank you. Just unmuted. Hello, hello, everybody.
And
Hi, Angela.
Hello, who's that? Khalid. Hello, Khalid. Can't be. Yes, it is. It says mute, but you just spoke to me.
okay,
I said I'm in my pajamas. I'm sorry,
Yes,
everyone.
unmuted, coming and going, like I was. There's an echo.
okay. Failure is key to personal growth. Failure is key to personal growth. Do you agree, Toastmaster Angela?
Thank you, Topics Master Edward. I find this is true more and more. I used to think that failure was something which only happened when you did something very badly, wrongly, or if you were a failure of a person. But the more I learn about other people, the more I find that, and the more I observe my own actions and my family's actions and everyone else, I find that very often, as soon as you start something new, the first time you try it, you make a mistake. Whether you are cooking a new dish or trying a new project or learning a new language, you're always making mistakes at the very beginning. And you have to accept that there's nothing wrong with you and it's nothing wrong with the system. That is just the way things go. If you knew it all, you wouldn't be learning and you wouldn't be trying something new. A baby falls 100 times before it learns to walk. It never gets discouraged and nobody comes up to it and says, "Why did you fall over? Anyone else can walk. What's wrong with you?" Nobody says that. The mother says, "Oh, you're wonderful. Oh, look, he took his first step. Oh, isn't he marvelous?" And then I can see my grandchild learning to eat things. "Oh, isn't that wonderful? She ate her first pear." Ah, I remember my first yogurt. I discovered that I can now eat olives, which I hated as a child. There are always things you can't do that you learn to do as life progresses. Sometimes it's because you made a mistake, and sometimes it's because someone else made a mistake. Sometimes the time wasn't right. Sometimes things just didn't work out. And the next time it works out. So you've got to be prepared for mistakes. What you said was absolutely true. Thank you for that. Back to you, Topics Master Edward.
Well said, Angela. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Regrettably, we are at the end of the table topic section of our meeting this evening. You all did exceptionally well as it relates to speaking within the 2 minutes, give or take 30 seconds. I commend you all for greeting your audience, for being clear about what you're going to speak upon, and for summarizing your positions in your conclusion. Excellent job, guys. Excellent job. With that, we will take a 10-minute break and then we will go into the manual presentation portion of our meeting.